right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we can give all glory and honor to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakakadash.
We'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who teach and were well. We give salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect in 1/3. His brother Barak.
Brother Yawasab.
We're going to be doing an in-transit lesson. Speaking about basically the bread defiled among the Gentiles, and also, you know, the earth being given in the hands of the wicked. Because this devil, man, he literally messed everything up. You know, he messed up the food, he messed up the air, and one of the brothers from another camp, he was speaking about, you know, we're gonna have basically tailor-made burdens for us, you know, while we're in this place, you know, Babylon, and you know, a lot of brothers now, you know, are getting sick, they're getting injuries, you know, they're getting ear problems, they're getting, you know, they can't breathe, and it's because you know, Esau, you know, it's ultimately because of Esau, and we're also getting tested through you know, through Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
It just shows how much of a defiled land we're truly living in, man. Like, this place, you know, has just gone to shit. So many years of just taking over the land of the Native Americans, coming in and perverting the land and the crops and spraying GMOs and chemicals. Like, it caught up, you know. And we're living in a place where, like, every other day we're catching some sort of, like, illness or whatever. And if we're going to the stores, we have to, like, double and even triple check what we're eating, you know, what we're eating, because all of our shit's defiled. And you know, an ingredient is hidden amongst another ingredient, so you don't even know what the fuck you're really eating. You know, and we might even go into, Lord willing, if the Spirit leads us, might even go into, like, some things that we could do to, you know, just quick little remedies in the meantime to combat against Esau and his wicked, evil fucking attacks and ways, you know.
And basically, you got I'm gonna pull up a precept. This is book of Job 9:24. It says, "The earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. He covers the face of his judges. If it not he, who then is it?" And so right now, you know, the wicked is in rulership. You know, Esau, Edom. That goes back to the so-called white man. You know, the Edomites were sent from Esau. You know, and you know, you got a video, and it was talking about you know, and little Jake over here in church, and you got this what's it called, mono and diglycerides, basically like an ingredient that's actually made out of pork, and people didn't even know this till recently.
Glycerin.
Yeah, or glycerin. You know, you got pork, you got gelatin, bones of the animals. So they literally are putting, this man is finding sneaky ways to basically defile the food, and you know, and you know, basically, you know, cause Jake to stumble. And we got here, this is the book of, let's pull this out real quick. Let's see if we can pull this out. Alright, anyway, yeah, so basically, man, you know, Esau, he put it in GMOs. He also spraying the food with you know, he's spraying the food with how you say it, pesticides
That fuck up your hormones. That's why you see Jake's all fucked up in their hormones. That's why you see so many faggot ass Jakes, man, some fruitcake Jakes, you know, and even you know, yeah, like they just always they're switching up because, you know, they're being sprayed with these chemicals that give you the feminine characteristics, man. We gotta watch out. And like everything on this side, we can't keep to a T. You know, there's some things that are out of our control, but we can do little methods like, you know, washing your produce before you eat it in apple cider vinegar and baking soda, you know, and trying to flush out any toxins. Don't just eat shit straight up, because chances are they're sprayed with a multitude of pesticides and have a lot of dirt and grime on it, you know. And that's just one of the things that we could do, you know. Bringing and Esau, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into
Yeah, was that Revelation 13:9?
Yeah, bring that out.
And he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So, you know, this man, whatever he's doing on this side, he's gonna get back at him. You know, right now he's celebrating, having a great time, because you got these rich ass Edomites. You know, they over here buying houses with cars. You know, buying, you know, these big things, having these big parties. You know, but the men of the Lord, man, are catching hell, and like I said earlier, we're gonna catch these tailor-made burdens. So, you know, even the air, right? You know, recently my breathing's been getting fucked. You know, so even the air, you know, it's hard to breathe anymore because this man put so much hexane and chemicals in the fucking air.
And I mean, we're brothers that take after our health, man. We exercise every day. We eat all clean food, man. We've been blessed enough to try our best to eat the cleanest food. But even then, is organic really organic in Babylon?
No.
You know, and bring out the verse of 1 Peter where it talks about suffering. Our sufferings, I've just put sufferings, Peter, KJV online.
I think I got
Do you have service with that phone?
I don't know if I got service, but I got something.
Okay, I got mine. Let's type it in. I'm gonna bring it out right now. So one moment, because we're in transit, so we gotta get these scriptures out. This is bring this out, Ak. The book of 1 Peter, chapter 4 and 13.
Yep. So it says, "Well, rejoice, and as much as ye are partakers of Christ, or Yahushai, sufferings that when His glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy." See, the devil's trying to put the other name, so break that down.
Because Yahushai, he suffered, he experienced the ultimate suffering. So when we suffer, we're suffering with him. He had to go through it, so do we. But at the end of the day, when we make it to the end, and he says, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," you know, you're gonna be given that crown, man. And in the kingdom, they're gonna know who you are. They're gonna say, "That's that brother right there. That's that brother right there. He went through that suffering," you know, and he went through that trial, and he went through those tribulations, and he made it out. You know, so we have to constantly endure and seek our mind on the things of the kingdom. You know, and set your mind on the things above, not on the things below. Bring that out. It's Colossians 3 and 2. Set your mind on the things above, not on the earthly things. Roughly paraphrasing. So, you know, we're setting our mind on the kingdom, on the rewards of the kingdom, but through the midst of that, we still have to suffer.
Yes.
Because Yahushua HaMashiach went through the same suffering that we're going through, except he went through it way harder on a level that we couldn't even imagine, because he sacrificed his life and he shed his blood for us. We haven't done that yet to this extent.
In the book of Colossians 3:2, it says, "Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things."
Yep. That's just a precept to back that up. And bring out the book of James. Put in James temptation. KJV online. It should show up. You know, we're passing by these fields right now that were once, you know, years ago, 10 years ago, when we drive by here, man, these fields were prosperous, man. Esau hasn't even given the land a land Sabbath, man.
Hey, back in 2023, right, started 2023, I drove past here, and you could still see oranges in these fields. You know, like, granted, it was it already was kind of like destroyed because of the, but and another thing you'll see this Esau do is he'll fuck up the crops, he'll fuck up the food supplies, but he'll blame it on something else. So he basically, for example, the bird flu, he'll use that as a way to as a means to increase the price of, you know, or masquerade the price of goods and services. So like You'll use that as a way to inflate the price of eggs.
Show everybody. You guys can see on the side right here.
Yeah, we're gonna show you.
Just an example. This was once a couple 100-acre citrus grove.
Yep.
Everything is completely destroyed, and me and the Hawk would be driving out here and stuff because, you know, we get our produce here. It's a little bit better than, you know, the produce. They mark it up so much more. We get it here at the source, and we got you know, our fellow Northern Kingdom brothers out here that, you know, they hook us up with some good stuff. Anyways, getting back to the point, this place back then when we would come here 4 or 5 years ago, you know, the citrus were kind of dying out, but there was still lots of fruit. There was still lots of fruit. There was lots of sour oranges. I saw people coming and picking them. Now it's completely desolate. They have not given the land a Sabbath to rest. They're constantly tilling. They're messing up
crop cycling.
Crop cycling, messing up the soil, putting crops that don't even belong here, and putting chemicals so that they can end up growing here. The same shit. They don't even give this land a rest, man. They're just defiling it to the point where it's depleted of its nutrients. And you might see what looks like to be a potato or a tomato, but you know, it's big and it looks good and it weighs a lot of pounds, so it sells more in the store. But it's not, has no nutrients to it because the way that it was prepared and the way that it was grown in a shit condition. Yeah. And you know, this is what happens, man. You defile your land and then it ends up just dying out and it's useless. And that's the shit that we gotta go through here, man. Everywhere we go. And you know, going back to what the Ox said about, you know, them blaming it on the bird flu, the same thing with the citrus, man. This, where we live out here in Florida, man, it used to be the biggest producer for citrus in the whole world, man. And guess what? It's not anymore because they made this, you know, a bug or some sort of disease, and they blamed it on the Chinese.
Yeah, they blame shit though.
You know,
because this is what this devil does, man. He blames shit on. You know, he just blames things. You know, and you know, and this is supposed to happen, man. When there was a scripture that says with much wisdom comes with much sorrow, right? So basically, like, you know, we know these things. We know how fucked up this world is. You know, these heathens, they don't get it. You know, they're still out here fucking partying. You're still out here drinking so much alcohol, their liver's damaged.
And we bring up that verse where it talks about them go married during the times.
Yeah,
they'll still be getting married.
Yeah, they'll still be having like Jake always want to have a wedding or some shit. What's up?
They always want to celebrate. This ain't no time to be fucking celebrating. What don't you guys fucking get?
Yeah,
this ain't time to celebrate, man.
Bad service, but you know, that's besides the point.
Bring it out on my phone.
Yeah, on your phone. This is service. That's the thing, Jake. Like Jake, wanna, you know, how do I say it, man? If you really need to have a wife or whatever, you know, do your thing. But you know, we about, doesn't it say like woe to those who give suck during those days? We're speaking about, you know, the women with children. You know, especially if you're a woman and you don't have, you know, you're not dealing with the man of the Lord.
Oh, you're screwed, man.
You know, you're fucked.
You're fucked.
You know, and that whole spirit of, you know, you know, I want a man with this makes this much money or looks like this. The whole spirit is over because how you say it, like, you know, these men of the Lord, these dudes, they might have everything, but they have no discernment, and they just end up offing themselves. You know, and you're gonna be fucked, and you're gonna be the spoils of, you know, some other nation.
And it's funny because the same woman I'd see online that you know I was mutuals with talking about playing these songs, Sexy Red, fucking Gorilla, I don't need no man, fucking vibe, man, independent woman, are the same woman putting in their notes and putting on their stories on Instagram that they wish they could be with a man right now or being cuddled up. You know, they're getting desperate, man. Isaiah 4:1 is coming real soon. Real fucking soon, man. And you know, the first thing I said when it popped up in my mind, I was like, damn, man, these women are going to start getting very desperate soon because that pride that they had is creeping up on them, man. But that's not the point. The point is that this place is, in all, is just defiled.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, between the woman defiled, the food defiled, the air defiled.
Look at the fucking sky, man. Like, you can see the sky in here. This shit ain't fucking normal. Like, honestly, a fucking NPC might look at it. What are you talking about, bro?
But even in Disney, I mean, the Disney paid like $50 million or something to go and put chemtrails in their old films, if I'm not mistaken, so that it could subconsciously program young children, younger generations into thinking that that's just normal. That way, when they grow up, they realize, oh, it's nothing, it's just lines in the sky.
And then the water, you got all these plastics in the water. You got fucking birth control in the water.
Yeah, atrazine. You know, look up atrazine.
And then another thing, they say by the time a woman's 30 years old, right, her fertility supply goes down to about 10%. So imagine with all these fucking chemicals, all this shit, birth control. By the time these bitches be 30 years old, they end up trying to have a kid. They can't even have a fucking kid. Yeah. And if they do have a kid, the kid ends up being fucking through.
Autistic or some
fucking problem.
Shit.
They have verbal problems. You know, they have they have dark circles under their eyes. They have mercury poisoning because you know these bitches. Yeah, that's the thing, man. These bitches, they're not even fit to have children because they fucked up their fertility supply so hard. You know, they want to drink and smoke weed and eat fucking graham crackers and all this McDonald's 1-cent burgers, all this bullshit. You know,
bring out the wickedness of a woman.
Yeah. I actually have that.
We get service, Lord willing.
Yeah,
we get service.
I got that. I mean,
you know, because these women aren't even fit to be taking care of children, and they be fucking spreading their legs, and then this is you know, spreading their fucking pussy open.
Yeah. So you want me to bring this out? So you have to. I got a couple of ones. So let's pull this out.
And then maybe after that, give not thy strength on.
Yeah. So this is the first book of Isaiah 32:9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come." And also Ecclesiasticus 25:25, it says, "Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad." So, and that's exactly what these bitches do. They go to different countries. You know, they fucking, you know, sleep with 20 fucking different men, and you have some bitches sleeping with 1,000 men, and then getting railed by 50 dudes in their asshole.
They got fucking herpes and diseases, and they don't even tell the guy that they're with that they have that. They hide it and they get him. You know, what does it say? I've looked at 1,000 out of 1,000 men. I found one right. Bring that precept out. Tell me to turn. Give me my phone.
So this is the book of, let's see. Let's pull this out. So Ecclesiastes 7:28. It says, "Although I found one here, okay, let's pull this out. Which my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but 1,000 women among all those I have found none." And it's exactly why the woman, there needs to be order too, because a woman without the man of Lord, they can't understand this truth.
They're fucked.
Yeah, it's like walking in a maze basically. Like you don't know any direction. You don't know where to go. That's exactly how. You know, and these women out here are so prideful. They be thinking they can be teaching men, you know, the Bible. You know, they be thinking they can. They just completely.
There's no order. They think they can tell men what to do and how to break down precepts. I mean, I can't tell you how many times a woman has tried to say that shit with me, and I shut her down. And you know, they get cut up by the scriptures. Hebrews 4:12. This word is sharper than a two-edged sword. So they don't even want to hear it. But this is why we got to be delivered out of this fucking place. And I mean quickly, man, because this is not our place of rest, man. This is not our fucking place of rest, dude. Every fucking day, this place gets worse and worse by the day. Okay?
Yeah, we pray those nuclear missiles just destroy this place. I said yesterday, you know, I hope to click a button that just drops a nuke on this place.
But the Lord's gonna do that, man.
But the Lord's gonna do that.
He's gonna do that, and we're gonna rejoice when that happens, because we know that afterwards we're gonna be in peace, man. And we're gonna finally be in rest. Be given new bodies, and we're not gonna suffer in this flesh anymore, man. Because this flesh is vexing, man. This flesh gets you nowhere.
Yep.
You know, everywhere we fucking go in this place is defiled in this place. We can't get away from it. Yeah, you can run off somewhere else, but if you go there, they drink the Babylon juice too. You know, they drink the cup of Babylon. So, you know, it might be ever so slightly better, but it's still going to be defiled.
Yeah.
You know, this is why all these other nations, they drink from the cup. That's why you see that they
Japanese people, like, you got Japanese hoes, you know, like, they in their rap music. Where do they learn that from?
Esau.
Yeah.
From Esau. You know, I wanted to mention another point when we spoke about the water being full of chemicals.
Yeah.
This is why, Akim, you got to make sure that you drink spring water.
Yeah.
Spring water. If you can't drink it from a glass, drink it at least.
Or you got a reverse osmosis.
Reverse osmosis.
Filter.
Like,
If you can put one in your house.
Yeah.
Do it.
We know it's expensive, but there's a lot of people that live near springs. Even if it's an hour away, man, make the
fill
trip.
up a gallon.
Go fill up a couple of gallons, a couple of buckets or whatever, if you have to. Reuse some glass and get enough to last you, you know, a month and refill.
Yeah, if you have the knowledge and you know where to go, you can definitely take advantage of that. And also, animal leaf, you know, that's gonna help you clear your sinuses.
The anamu,
you got
some cayenne and some key lime.
Yeah, you can take a teaspoon of cayenne pepper and eat it. You got bitter melons, you know.
That helps with migraines too.
Yeah, you got you know, soursop. You got, you know, watermelon, seeded watermelon juice. But you don't mix don't mix any watermelons. Don't mix them with any other food. They're not supposed to be. They're astringent, so you don't want to combine them. You don't want to combine them with any other food.
Grape seeds, papaya. You know, all these things help remove parasites. Tamarind.
Oh, tamarind, good for the pineal gland. So
helps remove parasites and metals. Pine needles. Most of you, Akim, live here where there's pines. You take a couple of those pine needles and brew them in some spring water.
That's gonna get rid of that
the metals,
spike protein.
The metals that are from the chemtrails and whatnot. You know, so there's methods that we could do, but we gotta utilize them because they're here. We still have things that the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai has given us to kind of stay afloat. You know, and keep us, you know, all right. And you gotta stay away from this fucking bullshit food, man. Stay away from this processed food, even if it's not deemed, you know, unclear. Even if it's something else that's like is not like pork or beef or shellfish or whatever, but it's still like processed and has a bunch of shitty ingredients. Like stay the fuck away from that, man, because it's not gonna do you any service. You gotta feed your body with good stuff, man, because this body ain't yours, man. It's the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai's body, so you gotta treat it with the fullest respect. And on top of that, what you eat, man, affects your mind and your spirit.
Yeah.
So if your gut microbiome is all fucked up, you know, how the fuck are you gonna like be in the spirit the way you're supposed to be?
Yeah.
You know, you're not. So you gotta take good fucking care of your body, man. And you know, Yahweh willing, we'll be making some more videos regarding that to help you in the Akim and the Aquat, the very few Aquat watching out there. When I mean few, very few that are watching out there, to, you know, help with things like this.
Yep. And yeah, we're gonna wrap that up. Lord willing.
We're gonna wrap this up. Lord willing, this is edifying. Quick little impromptu. With that being said, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Barakakadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles in Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom.
Shalom.